Hey, what's going on? This is Jay Soul in the building with Feel Your Soul. All right, I want to say one thing to you, one thing only, man. Look, you can do this. You can absolutely do this. I want you to understand that first. I want you to understand that there will be some trials, there will be some tribulations that will come along this journey of you becoming a success. And I want you to know that that is totally normal when it comes down to it. You were meant for this place, you were meant for this space and time right now, and you will get through it. All right. Remember that life gives you choices. My godmother used to always tell me, she like, James, remember one thing, life is about choices. And I never forgot that. And now that I'm in a different spiritual practice than from what most people in America practice, for one, and for two, black people practice, but it's becoming more and more relevant with African traditional spiritual systems. We gotta look at life as we made this choice to be here. Okay, we made this choice to be here. We want to go through this. Our soul, our spirit needs to experience whatever we're experiencing in order to get to that next level in our lives. Now it's up to you to live this life with a certain attitude of positivity. Once you learn that life has no meaning, and a lot of y'all might be pulled back from that, but I want you to really examine what I'm saying. And I'll give you an example. You could be walking down the street and you might have had some money. You might have had $100 bill in your pocket, okay? And then you end up walking down the street. It's a nice day, sunny, perfect. Feels perfect outside, and the store is right down the street. So all you got to do is walk down the sidewalk, maybe 2 or 3 blocks just to get to the store. And you had this $100 in your pocket, okay? Knowing that you were about to get all the fresh fruit that you wanted, all the watermelon that you wanted, and milk and bread, okay? You went there to get certain things, and that stuff might cost you like $30, $40 nowadays anyway. But you came there to get that, all right? And you get all the way to the store. You walk in and you reach in your pocket and you find that the money is no longer there. Now, for most of you might see that as something that is very negative. You will feel like, I just lost $100 a day. How am I gonna make that back? You know, how long is it gonna take me to recoup that? You know, and even worse of all, if you're still working a 9 to 5, it might take you an extra 2 weeks before you even make any of that money back. Okay. Now, to you, for most of us, that's a bad situation. Shoot, I would definitely still feel hurt initially about losing money like that. But what's on the other end of that? Say another person is walking down the street, walking down the sidewalk. They just got off of work. They just had a really bad day. And they're walking from the grocery store where they work at down to back home, which is just a few blocks down the way. Okay? Just a few blocks down the way. They're walking, they're almost home in their neighborhood, and they look down and they see a $100 bill on the ground. Now, if you were in that other person's shoes, you finding $100 bill, a $100 bill on the ground, you're like, yo, this must be my lucky day. This will actually seem like something that is super positive for you. Okay? But same situation, 2 different perspectives will tell you a lot about, two situations, one situation, 2 different perspectives will tell you a lot about what's going on and how people view things. Now, that situation can either be seen as positive or negative based off of which character that you were. If you lost the money, you might see it as negative. If you found the money, you might see it as something positive. But also there's 2 different sides of that. If there's an in, there's a law of polarity. So if there's an in, there's an out. If there's an up, there's a down. So you could be the one that found the money and feel bad because maybe somebody just lost $100 bills. Or you could be the one that lost the money and said, hey, maybe somebody's going to pick that up that really needs it. You see what I'm saying? Life has no meaning but the meaning that you actually give it. You got all this bombing going on around the world. There's going to be people that hate it and there's going to be people that love it. Trust and believe that. So, I just want to let you know that you can do it. And the way to get through that situation is based off the way that you think. Always look at things as if they are for your better good. And then what's going to happen to you, the universe will respond and make sure that thing turns out to be your better good, no matter what. All right? Because now that you know the law, you will not be able to forget it. And you'll know that you know how to think your way through situations. All right? So until next time, stay blessed, stay abundant. I love y'all. Peace.